The following podcast is brought to you by the Ebb Tide Treatment Center. Many people wrestle with addiction. You don't have to. Reach out to the Ebb Tide Treatment Center, where they wish to empower each individual encountered with the support, hope, and tools required for long-term sobriety, priding themselves on providing the best possible treatment experience for you and your loved ones based on unique needs. They're committed to breaking the stigma that plagues those suffering with addiction and their families by educating and bringing awareness to the community. The Ebb Tide Treatment Center provides individual and group therapy, multiple recovery pathways for support, evidence-based clinical support, integrated aftercare social reintegration, personalized treatment planning, program addressing whole life health, and Vivitrol program, all available. If you or someone you know is struggling with addiction, reach out to them at ebbtidetc.com or call 844-430-4357. Hello once again, everybody, and welcome to AIW's The Card is Going to Change. Before we get into this week's episode, we want to give a thanks to our sponsors that help us bring the show to you free each and every week, our wonderful loyal listeners that you are. First, thanks to Angelo's Pizza, which you may have just had when you were at our last show at Mount Carmel. If you'd like to try more than just their award-winning pizza, you can visit Angelo's on Madison Avenue in Lakewood, Ohio. Thank you also to Smart Mark Video, who was also there at Mount Carmel, making sure that they got everything recorded for you so that if you weren't there or you were there and want to watch it again, you can download or purchase a DVD at smartmarkvideo.com. And finally, we of course want to thank Jack Prints, who helps print all of our banners, our flyers, any sort of graphic needs that we have. They do all of it. They can do all of that for you, whether you're a small business owner or you've just got some sort of event going on, or, maybe you just want your own t-shirt. They can do all of that and more. See what they have to offer at jackprints.com.
That's jakprints.com?
Yeah, was that a question or a statement? You've said it enough times. Come
Just
on.
checking.
Yeah, consider you to be an intelligent man. That voice that you heard right there, though he seemed confused, is none other... Believe me, he'll be more confused by the end of this episode. None other than our guest of honor on this show. This is the Duke. Welcome back to the show.
Hey, it's great to be here.
Of course, we'll be joined by AIW owner John Thorne.
Oh, I don't know how much I'm going to be joining you. I'm just going to be sitting back and enjoying this one.
And my name is Steve Guy. I am your moderator of sorts. Sober 2 episodes running. And
How did you go to Ed Tide?
No, it's down in Florida. So the amount of money to spend to get
Is
there.
it a quick question? Is it Ed Tide or
Ebb
Ebb Tide.
EBB.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
I wasn't sure.
You want to
I'm
get the
looking up
rates?
for you. You got all sorts of issues you need taken care of.
Me? I'm
Elephant-
sober for like 10 straight
Elephant
weeks.
boy.
Oh, and it isn't just booze. You got a lot of issues going on.
I don't got any issues.
You need like 17 interventions.
17 interventions.
I was a nervous guy, man, last week.
You was very nervous last week. Well, you got through it. Thanks, of course. Before we even start, thanks to everybody that came out to Hell on Earth. John Thorne, if you listened last week, was a nervous wreck, nervous Nelly, but we got through it. John, it's okay.
Let's hope so.
All right. Well, hey, on this week's episode, perhaps the most controversial episode to date.
With a controversial figure.
Yeah,
in the
That's
world.
a bold statement. I don't think it's that
very
controversial,
polarizing.
but all right.
You're a controversial figure in the world of professional wrestling.
Okay.
Sit
Well, I
back.
can't wait for this then. I
Sit back.
didn't realize I was. All right.
Buckle in.
You didn't realize you're a controversial guy?
No.
Oh, so
man.
controversial.
This
Show up and do my job and go home.
this is the Duke AMA.
You know what that means?
Yeah, I know what it means.
What does it mean?
It means ask me anything.
There it is.
Well,
And as I said on Twitter, I said anything and everything's on the table. So
you got a little glitter on.
yeah, you do got glitter on your.
Did you hit secret?
Did you?
No, I came from the gym.
Did you have another
It was
lunch
not.
meeting?
I didn't go to a pole
Lunch
dancing
meeting at
class
Bob
at the
Evans?
gym. I don't know what that is. Oh, I wish.
Another lunch meeting at Bob Evans, huh?
No. I
Yeah.
did have lunch with Bob Evans today, though.
With the stripper?
With that.
No.
With the same client as last time.
No, it was a coworker.
Coworker.
But no,
Oh, right.
No.
Oh, it looks like she was wearing some glitter today.
Different person. I don't know where you're getting this glitter from.
Oh, it's there. It's right.
There's
right
glitter.
Under, like your nose.
It's probably from that ghetto giant eagle I just went to in your neighborhood.
Oh, come on.
It's
now.
not ghetto.
What are you talking
Totally
about?
ghetto.
This is a suburb.
Yeah, it's a great
This is
neighborhood.
not This is Cleveland. It's not a suburb.
It's a suburb.
It's a wonderful neighborhood.
It's Cleveland proper.
Brooklyn.
I just drove past a sign that said "Welcome to Cleveland."
Yeah, you're right on the border here.
Okay.
Well, these
We're on the right side of the tracks.
All right. Good.
these questions paint the picture of your entire career. Oh, bartender Nick Sanko, you want to say
Can I
something?
start off with the first question?
You want to read the first question?
No, I want to ask
Oh,
a
he's
question.
Oh,
We're going off the
absolutely.
board already.
This is a live question.
All right, so if the ghetto giant eagle up the street, can you explain wearing shorts in November?
I just came from the gym. I'm wearing a sweatshirt and shorts. That's how we do it.
Yeah, you're not very
That's how we
dressed
do it
up
in
to be
Ohio.
calling.
The weather's
To
favorable.
be calling the consumers of the Giant Eagle ghetto.
You're killing my image here. This is radio. This is broadcast. As far as everybody knew, I had a $3,000 suit on. Nick Sanka, you're killing me.
Oh, yeah, with shorts.
You're disrespecting his hometown.
I just respected the giant eagle.
This is his hometown right here.
No, that's all right.
All right.
Nobody bats 1,000.
I'm not gonna read all the names of these questions, but maybe I will. What do you want to know? Who they asked them?
If it's relevant, yeah,
Thorne,
sure.
it's your show. Should I mention who asked the questions?
Maybe ask the question, depending on how controversial it is.
Okay. All right. That's fair. First question.
Some people might want to keep their anonymity. How do you say that?
Anonymity. That's
Anonymity.
a good point because
That's-
they'll probably
yeah, that's
they
fair.
think they have carte blanche to ask me something ridiculous or be super insulting. And
That's
then,
true. That's
you know,
true.
yeah.
Good thing we did
You think
this
people
after
want to
in
insult
Eleanor.
you?
Yeah, of course they do.
Why do they want to insult you?
Because they're all pricks.
So glad we did this after our show. That way he couldn't attack anybody. Well, hey, if you are listening and you want to tweet about the show as you listen, use the hashtag AskDookie
Oh, okay.
and let us know your thoughts on this episode.
Or buy that T-shirt at our ProWrestlingTees.com.
Yeah. So far, still
online
just 2
store.
sold.
It's all right. I'll take that 50 cents.
50 cents.
He's a good rapper. First question, leading it off. What was it like to wrestle the greatest worker, Shock Solomon, in a steel cage?
Actually, it wasn't bad. I mean, I'll be honest with you. And the funny part is that he took.
Do you want to give a background on who Shock Solomon is real quick?
Well, it goes back to
Yeah.
the EFW podcast that we did. He was one of the founders, I guess, of EFW, and he was the one who was trying to play both sides to get. Once he knew we were going under, he tried to go over with you guys, and nobody wanted him. And nice guy, kind of shady, not kind of shady, very shady. Great salesman.
He once met in the AIW offices probably about 7 years ago, and he asked us, since we were an LLC, if we could open a storefront because he wanted to. He said the only way that you could buy tap out merchandise in bulk was if you had a store, and then he just wanted to sell. Then he just wanted to sell it on eBay.
I'll take his word for it. I don't know,
It was a very weird proposition.
to get back to, not to get completely off topic already, but to get back to your question, there's 2 people. His team was himself and the Sheik. We all in Cleveland know who the Sheik is.
Not the Detroit Chic.
No, Sheik Abdul Hassan. And Mick Foley actually complimented Shock Solomon.
Wow.
Mick Foley was special referee. Actually complimented him on his performance.
And
so
go back and listen to that previous podcast with the Duke covering some origins of AIW story. He'll tell you all about how he has to go and retrieve money to give to Mick Foley that
Yes,
day.
I did. Not my money, so I
So,
was.
so what did Mick Foley say to Shock Solomon?
He gigged in the match, and Foley complimented him on his bleeding
gigging
ability.
abilities?
Complimented him on his ability to take a beating, because me and J-Rock was my partner, so
Oh, okay.
J-Rock and I beat him up pretty good for about 5, 6, 7 minutes, and Mick Foley was very complimentary.
Good gigger. He's a good
He's
gigger.
a good gigger.
Well, back in the day, that would impress Mick Foley. Maybe not so much anymore, but
Now he might
Yeah.
tell him that's stupid. Okay.
Way to gig.
Next question. How good is the Chinese buffet in North Olmsted that you say you attend weekly?
I don't attend weekly. It's easy to go on Saturday afternoon because I'll go out, get a newspaper, and I'll swing by. It's not bad. I mean, it's a Chinese buffet. They're all pretty much the same.
Okay.
They're probably gross in the back.
Have you tried the one by Tequila Jack / Music Links?
I have
Could
not.
you compare them?
I have
Okay.
not. I will say my favorite thing at the Chinese buffet are the American style chicken wings. So there you go. So there you have it.
You can't even, indulge yourself in the
I
culture
mean,
there.
the chicken and broccoli is good. They got the sesame chicken is pretty good. But for some reason, those chicken wings, man, I don't know what it is. They're just
Would you say
delicious.
it's ghetto?
No, it's more Asian.
This is the North Olmsted. Nothing's ghetto out
nothing. Well, no, there's a lot of things ghetto in North Homestead. What's the ghetto equivalent of Asian culture? Is there one? Is it?
I don't know.
there. No idea.
Yeah.
You
How
don't
would
like
you-
you don't like my grocery store, man. I'm a little offended.
You guys are getting way too offended by that.
How would you rank?
There.
How would you rank their American style chicken wings to an actual American chicken wing place, like a Buffalo Wild Wings?
Much better because they're breaded, which I like.
Ah.
They're not covered in sauce, which I also like, and they're bigger.
Okay,
So there you go.
Bigger is better.
bigger is better. Yeah.
We're starting off hot with some weird questions.
Yeah.
Oh, they get.
Oh, they're gonna
weirder.
get worse. Trust me.
Eventually.
Who submitted those? Those weren't controversial.
Those were Leo Lesher. Eventually,
Adam Cage making an appearance on the podcast.
eventually we get into more wrestling related things, but not in this one.
Hey, when you say anything, last I checked, that means anything.
It means anything. Hashtag Ask Dookie anything. Rolling right along. Where would you rank your midlife crisis?
Oh, it's pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What kind of car are you rolling in these days?
Oh, I don't.
Not that kind of crisis.
No, I mean,
No?
I actually, it's a. If
Just a lot
Chrysler 200, my lease is up in a
nice
couple of months.
vehicle.
Don't tell Potato.
I was gonna say the
Oh,
potato
yeah.
can sell you a
He's
car.
an
I'm not
avid
driving
listener.
a Boardman to get a car. I'm sorry.
He'll drive it to you.
No, he said he'll drive it to you if you
Yeah.
buy it.
No, I got to first talk to my.
He'll sell you a car via PayPal.
He's got new
I gotta
and
talk to my
used.
Apparently, my Chrysler people are having a Black Friday special on Chargers.
Can we-
So I might get one of those.
Oh.
Can-
Now that's stepping up the midlife crisis
There it is.
mobile.
Well, it's a Charger. It's not like a Corvette or a Mercedes.
Can
or
we get
anything.
Can we get a car with AIW PayPal? Get an AIW car?
Maybe I'm not buying anything
clown
from the
car?
potato. I'm
Put
not
all
buying.
the students in it and drive to shows?
I'm not buying anything from the potato.
But no, the midlife crisis it's functioning nicely. There's some disappointment there,
Yeah.
in how everything turned out. But it's balanced by some joy and giant piles of money. So
Do the
it's-
Vegas
it's
trips
okay.
increase during the midlife crisis, or
No,
have those
Vegas
kind
trips,
of
Vegas trips increase. I go to Vegas a lot now because I can afford it.
okay?
I mean, I used to go to I go to Detroit and I go to Mississippi. I go to Mississippi for free and I go to Detroit for free. But Vegas is way more fun and I get credited higher for what I do out there.
Yeah.
Like I get double the credits in Vegas versus Mississippi, so I just go to Vegas.
All right.
So
So I mean, I don't even really know the details of a midlife
You want to know
crisis.
you will.
Oh, I will. I will.
you might be going through it right now.
I'm in
You
it.
might be. At
No, you
midlife
get to
crisis.
about 40 when you wake up one day and you just go. Because when you were a kid, did you really think you want to be sitting on a couch with me doing a podcast?
Yeah.
No, you probably had some grandiose dreams and
I think you should get an arm sleeve tattoo.
No, I'm past that. I'm past that.
Yes, let's sleeve up, dude.
No, I mean that would be. I got to get like a nice car and an arm sleeve tattoo, and then like some kind of angry dog like that I could take it to the park and like it could beat up the other dogs. I could feel good about myself.
What
No,
if-
I'm not at that level.
What about the ladies during this midlife crisis? Do you feel like you're swiping right on dating apps more often?
The trouble with that is you find older women are the ones that reach out to you, and that's just, I don't know.
You're not a fan of the older
You
ladies.
want the younger ones. Huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You want a girl with daddy issues.
Well, everybody's got daddy. Every girl's got daddy issues.
You want to be a sugar
let's
daddy.
be real.
Is that
No,
what's up?
that I do not want to do.
Don't want to be a sugar
No,
daddy.
that I do not want to do. I mean, it would have to be spectacular for that.
You'd like to maybe spoil a young lady, but with
a little
reason.
bit, yeah. You know, a little give and take.
Okay.
Little, you know, scratch my back, I'll scratch yours type deal.
Sure.
So you said like how it turned out. Like how did it turn out? What do you
Yeah.
mean by that?
What life in general?
Did you want to be married with kids and white picket fence and everything right now?
Did I want to? I don't know. Did I assume I would be
Yeah.
by now? Yeah.
Okay.
You know, and it's a little weird, like, because I have a sister, for anybody that doesn't know, and she has kids, and one's graduated college and one's in college right now, and so it's weird, like, to go to holiday stuff and everything else, and like her family is there, and then
Yeah.
I show up. I'm like, hey, it's a little,
Uncle Duke.
yeah, it's a little weird, but it's fine. I'm cool with it.
All right. I mean, that's how I am now. But I'm much younger than you, so.
Well, yeah,
as
you'll
weird
get there. You'll get there.
Hey, I might end up married and have kids. We'll see.
You might,
I got time.
You might end up with a bullet wound in the gutter too. Who knows?
Oh, Jesus.
Man.
I'm just getting them out now because I know they're coming.
Taking
So
his shots already.
I'm just
here.
getting them out now.
All right.
Oh man.
How about that, huh?
So you're not happy about how everything turned out? You got big piles of money.
No, okay.
You're happy. You
It's
just thought
more.
it
It's
would be
more.
different.
The reason why. Okay, here I'll give everyone a life lesson out there.
Oh yeah, here we go.
All right, here we go. Never be afraid to, if you want to do something, go try to do it. Because I had things that I would have liked to have tried to do, and I never tried to do it, and it bothers me to this day because I probably, had I made the effort, because it would have been something I wanted to do, so I probably would have.
Can you be?
enjoyed
Do you want to be
Yeah, can you-
specific?
career-wise?
Can you give us an idea?
Like-
What's
like
something
specific?
that you kind of wanted to do?
Well, I would have tried to do something in entertainment, like
You're a
comedian.
professional
You're a
wrestling manager.
No, like
extraordinaire.
try to be like a comedian, or
We've
go
talked-
to like
actually, we've talked about
go
this
to like Second City or whatever. Like try to
Yeah.
study it in college. Do what you're supposed to do. Try to get noticed. Whatever else.
Do you feel like you just played it safe with an
and
accounting career?
That's exactly what I did. I decided I wanted to do this in college. I mean, I don't really like a lot of this part of it. I'm good at it, and it's provided me with the ability to do whatever I want, but I'm not a huge fan of it. It's changed a lot. People are just really hard to deal with, and they've oversimplified what we do, and they've devalued it with all these other things. I don't want to get off on a tangent here, but
Listen,
I mean,
Duke, we here at AIW are all about making dreams come true, right, John Thor? We try when we can.
I mean, did you ever think about doing like some improv or?
yeah. I mean, I've thought about it.
How about this?
Zach from the movie Powerbomb, he's now funding a new improv
Uh-oh.
pilot TV show or something.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Something I don't know. It's Angie from Jack Prince told me all about this thing. I don't really know the details of it. Maybe we get the Duke involved.
Look, it just turns out, just so happens that there is a guy involved in AIW that is involved in the world of stand-up. Duke, I would love to help make some dreams come true.
I don't know if you want.
Okay, this isn't.
I don't know if you want this guy.
If you
we're
could
not doing
write-
Make-A-Wish here.
If you
know
can
what I mean?
write
So-
5 minutes of material, I will put you on one of my shows at the 9.
Steve Guy,
for
I've
5
given
minutes.
you
5 minutes.
more than 5 minutes
I
of
don't want to
material.
do it.
I know, but I'm just
I
saying.
want you to do it. There is. I don't remember what it is right now, but I do have one joke that came from our conversations, and I was like, "Dude, that was really good." And I was like, "You should try it." And you're like, "Nah, you can have it." I'm like, "All right, fine."
Yeah, well,
I don't remember what it was.
Maybe the Duke could be your writer because you need some writing, man.
Duke could be my writer.
You need some writing.
Oh, hey, thanks.
I've never seen you up there, Steve Guy. So
Well, John
seen
Thorne has
it.
a very specific style of comedy that he loves. A lot of dick joke oriented.
I don't like dick
do-
jokes. I don't do dick jokes. It's just like a good laugh.
Likes a good laugh.
Like a good laugh. Steve gets sometimes. He's more of a spoken word guy. I think you do a lot of
Yeah, it's
spoken
not
word.
straight like.
You're a Def Jam poet comedian? Is that what you're
I
trying to
think
say?
like
He's very like he's got a lot on his mind. I feel
He's a storyteller.
he uses it to.
Yeah.
He's
More
trying.
you don't- you're not- you're-
He's
comic.
trying to express. He's trying to express.
you
himself.
like setups and punchlines.
Yeah,
you don't like stories.
He likes straight, quick.
All right, I got
punchline.
you.
Yeah.
Okay, well,
No, Marty.
That's a very. That's
Marty.
a very.
Marty DeRosa does a whole thing where he comes full circle, brings it back at the end. It's great.
That's what every comedian does.
Yeah.
Not Steve Guy. Not Steve Guy.
Steve Guy does when he does longer sets.
Yeah.
I think Steve just is. He's got a lot going on up there. He's.
All right, this isn't about
work it
Steve
out.
Guy.
I want to know more. What else? What
That's it.
Your dreams. You just wanted. You wanted
Just something. If you would have put 18-year-old me across from you at a table and said, what would you really love to do? I would not have said I want to be a CPA for 23 years or what. I mean, I wouldn't have said that.
But wrestling was something you wanted to do. Did you think you'd still be
Wrestling was
wrestling?
something I wanted to do when I got out of high school.
Okay.
And my parents both adamantly said, "No way, not in a million years." So,
But
you
you
think
did
you-
it. You did it.
Yeah.
you
are
but
doing
at
it.
that time, like to find
Is
a
that
school
why you?
and to go to.
Is that why you
school.
waited so long to really do it?
No, I just never had the opportunity. I didn't know anything about like JT and whatever. I didn't know any of that stuff.
Yeah.
It all just kind of showed itself to me in like 98 or 99 or whatever it was. And then it just kind of took off.
Well, this is kind of a follow-up to the midlife crisis question. Have you ever considered a mail-ordered bride?
No.
Okay.
God, no.
Easy answer. That was an easy answer. I don't know if we need to elaborate then.
That was a direct.
Direct. Very direct.
Well, because
God, no. Oh, there it is.
let me put it to you this way: it's not the first time I've answered that question. The answer has always been the same, but it's not the first time I've been
Going
asked that
back
question.
to showing up at the holidays.
Yeah. Well, no, not my friend. Go, oh, why don't you just get a mail order bride? Or I'm like, no, I'm good, man.
All right. This next one is actually scenario-based. AIW president Matt Wadsworth just got a mystery phone call that could shake up the AIW locker room. On the call, he got a tip that one of the AIW students is secretly one of the Duke's long-lost illegitimate children. Well, this scenario sounds familiar to something I saw on television recently. Which student would the Duke say he sees the most resemblance to himself? DCR, Weird Body, PB Smooth, or other?
The most resemblance to, like the one that could pass for my.
I guess.
Well, not knowing-
or who would you want to be your
Not
kid?
knowing who the mother is, because she obviously would contribute half of the genetics.
Right.
If we're just going off of me, the obvious answer is DCR. I mean, that's the obvious answer. I mean,
A bombshell being dropped right
Bombshell. He could be his. Yeah.
it could be.
now. Duke has been. Spoiler alert: the Duke has been spending quite a bit of time at the school on the beginners classes teaching.
How about that?
I went up two times, but because I would go.
I'm trying to put you over here.
I would go up more. Well, you guys start at 5 o'clock. I don't get out of work. I mean, I got to leave work early to
Nobody's
get there.
complaining that you're there. He was saying it was a good thing.
Steve Guy,
He's saying he's
Steve
happy
Guy,
to have you there.
I've done nothing but defend myself for the past 12 years about everything that
I know you
it's
longer
ingrained
than
in my
that.
mind to instantly defend myself.
I've known you longer than that.
I'm just talking about AIW wise.
Is there somebody?
We're approaching 20.
Well, it's ingrained in me to defend myself.
If that storyline were to
No,
happen,
no,
is there
I'm saying,
someone you would
though-
pick to be your child.
Well, what I was saying is Duke has been spending a lot of time with the beginners class. I wanted to see if he saw any potential there.
Oh, okay,
Maybe he would.
maybe someone we haven't seen yet.
No, I mean, there's a couple kids that are pretty good or that look like they have some ability. But I've only been there twice, so I mean, it's hard to say.
Okay.
And it's very drill oriented, obviously, because they're just starting out, so it's difficult. I was completely blown away Wednesday by, I can't remember his name. I'm
John?
John.
Yeah, I'm really bad with names, and it's not like they're too unimportant for me to remember the names. I'm just terrible with names. And this John kid who is struggling, to get some of the athletic stuff down. We did promos afterwards, and God damn, he just crushed this promo. I was blown away by how good it was. So if he can get his fucking shit together,
Yeah.
maybe, or take it in a different direction, maybe not necessarily, full-time wrestler or something, but not gonna
Follow in your footsteps.
Not gonna pitch manager till I retire. So but
I thought you were retired now.
no, I'm not retired. I'll never retire.
That's a good segue since you said manager.
Okay, all right.
Because
When?
the next question is, who was your favorite wrestler to manage?
Eddie.
Eddie
Kingston?
God, yeah. Shorts Eddie or Gear Eddie. It didn't matter.
You liked either one. For what reason?
Shorts Eddie was more fun because he was more loose, but Gear Eddie was way more. Gear Eddie was way more serious, and like whenever it was like a big match, it was Gear Eddie. But just the stuff that we would do together, like when we were out there when we did promos, it was super cool because he's so good at pretty much everything. And there's one promo that he and I did before a gauntlet show that was just great. I loved it. It was he was working it was his last show. He's working Frankie, and Frankie beat him, and so he had to leave. And we were cutting this promo, and it was awesome. I loved it. But just not only the stuff that we did together, but watching him help other people.
Yeah.
He's just like we did that Battle of the Sexes at the hotel in the convention when he wrestled Mia, and she was having trouble with her promo, and he just pulled her aside, and he was just like for like 2 minutes just told her just do this, do that, do this, do that, and just listening to him and watching him talk, you were like, oh my God, that makes total sense. You know,
I mean, that's why we put. If people haven't noticed by now, Eddie Kingston usually comes back in and works with one of the new guys to try because he teaches them a lot.
Yeah, I mean, BJ's great, Tolar's great. I love everybody that I work with. I mean, there's very few people that I don't like.
Yeah,
and Eddie is just good at everything.
What about me? Would you manage me?
Yeah, if I had to.
In my big return match?
that was very. Yeah.
Well, you would never book that, so it,
if I had to,
you would never book that, so it doesn't matter.
If you and I are ever in a ring, it's going to be staring across from each other, Pete.
Anytime you're ready, Jonathan.
That's not. I'm not Jonathan.
No, just
John.
Yeah.
What?
John. I'm
Just
not Jonathan.
I'll call you Jonathan. I don't care.
Oh, it's his world. You're just living in it.
Yeah.
Right now, anyway, because it's Ask Dookie Anything. Here's a question. Has there been anyone on the indies that you would like to bring into AIW to work a program with?
Oh, man.
And I imagine that could be as their manager or actually.
Yeah, I'd probably
against.
manager, but I wish I would have known this one in advance because I would have given it some thought.
You're in the hot seat.
Yeah.
I know. Let me think for a second. Probably somebody that like is like Eddie, that has talent and can talk and can think on their feet, and we could, because that's where I do some of the best stuff that I do is when it's not planned out and we're just kind of winging it. So somebody like
going back to that improv.
Yeah, well, it's easier that way. Somebody maybe like Mance.
Oh, that's a good one.
Mance Warner.
Mance Warner.
Oh,
yeah.
do I have to say Warner? I figured everybody.
I
knew
mean,
Mance.
you got to specify.
Old
I'm
Manser.
specifying.
Old Manser.
Yeah, because he come in and he's great. He gets he's got that southern, drawl, and he's got a definitive character, and everybody knows if they either love him or they hate him, and put him with me, everybody's gonna hate him, which
absolutely.
Yeah. So, but yeah, somebody like either him or somebody like that.
Okay.
That's not necessarily somebody that flies around all over the place and goes 3,000 miles an hour. Just somebody that knows how to work and is good, and we have the kind of a similar background.
Oh, that's cool.
What's your connection to Mance Warner? You guys both like light beer?
I think he likes Bud Light. I think so. We're gonna have. Oh, is it all light beer? Okay,
All
then we're
light
good.
beer.
We're good.
Good thing the Bone Collector showed up to give us that
rip
information.
some rails.
I don't rip rails.
You do? I will.
Oh wait, hold on. Wait, what's somebody else just showed up,
There's the Bone Collector Dominic Greeny is here. I will.
and he's got a McDonald's bag.
I don't
know what
follow-up.
that's all about.
I have a follow-up question. I have a follow-up question on this email, so I got to ask that, and then right to you, Mr. Dom. Since we're talking about ideas that you may have, the follow-up question is: have you had an idea that you thought out and planned, but John Thorne turned down for some reason, other than you're the Duke, which is probably the only reason?
No, because I'm not hugely important to the show, so I don't pitch stuff.
Okay.
I mean,
Except Duke World
I mean,
Order.
you can correct me if
Duke World Order. Yeah.
oh, dude, that would have been over as fuck, so it doesn't matter.
Oh yeah, so over.
But I mean, like, he just like what kind of happens is it's like, okay, you're gonna be with this guy, and then they do their run, and then they leave, and then he's like, we'll just figure out, who we're gonna put you with next. I don't really ever suggest certain people or whatever.
Yeah.
'Cause I don't know what their plans are, and I'm not paying for it, so I don't.
You should pay for it.
What about
The other day, you told me you could pay for Hulk Hogan in cash if I needed.
If I wanted to, I don't want to.
you wanted to?
I want you to.
I don't want to.
Real quick,
you could get those boas out of the closet.
Before I get to the Dobbs question, it goes along with it. But has there been an idea that John Thorne pitched to you that you thought there's no way in hell this is going to work out and you're going to be miserable, and then you were like, this worked out pretty well? Or you were at least you were nervous about it.
Oh, there's been specific, not like programs or anything.
Yeah.
But like specific, like the Sandman thing. Yeah, I was just like, oh shit.
What about the death match we did at the 50th show?
I was okay with that.
I couldn't remember. Or not.
I looked at that as kind of a not necessarily a rite of passage, but kind of like a necessity at that point, because
You just got to do one.
yeah, that's kind of what it was. So I was like, all right, cool. And it turned out way better for us than it did for the Latin Crime Syndicate. Let's put it that way. I mean, they were messes when we got done.
Well, our next question comes to us from the in-studio audience,
Oh, all right.
Dominic Guarini.
Duke, let's cut to the chase. How much money do you
Wait a
make?
minute. We're getting to the heart of the matter.
Heart of the matter.
All right.
How much money do you make a year before taxes?
I can't answer that question. It's more than six figures, but I can't answer that. I can't answer.
More than
For
6.
multiple children?
Oh.
I'd have to cut back on a couple things, but yeah, I'd have to start going back to Detroit. And I couldn't retire, so
That was a real tough question.
Yeah, I like that question. Next one. Nope, read that one. Sorry. Here we go. What is your favorite match in AIW that you wrestled in?
that's me and Jock Sampson, of course.
I thought that might be your answer.
I mean, that was
Texas Bull Rope?
that was my absolute favorite. Me and Dominic is close. I mean, I love that.
Okay.
Just they were both very different.
Yeah.
And just because two completely different styles. I was on opposite sides, if you will. One I was face, one I was heel, and it was the reactions I got were great, and I had fun doing it. And people don't talk about a lot of stuff I do, but they talk about those two things.
That match is one of Ethan Page's favorites. It was his very favorite. He said
I
in
also
AIW.
think that because people had very low expectations of them.
Oh, yeah.
You were a bit more motivated than usual.
It's not so much that I was motivated. I think, we're not. Let's not gonna lie. Obviously, the bar is set relatively low. For my matches, I'm just kind of getting in and getting out and doing my thing and whatever else. But we wanted to. It just turned out. It turned out way better than I thought it was going to. And when you get to the back and somebody goes, that was way better than it had any business being. I guess I take that as a compliment. It's kind of a backhanded compliment, but
You got to get them where you could get
Was
them,
that
right?
person John Thorne or no?
no, it was not. It was someone who's no longer in the
Was it Chris Dickinson?
organization. No, I will tell you off the air who it is.
Oh, okay. Was this for the match with Jock or?
Actually, yeah, this was the match with Jock. Actually, I
okay,
take that
okay.
back. It wasn't that night. It was later on. It came up
Somewhere
in a
down the road.
conversation,
Okay.
and somebody said it.
What's up, everybody? This is Alex Worldwide Keller here to tell you all about at Thrift Store Jobber, Instagram, Etsy, eBay, you name it, he has it. And he has got a doozy for you here. AIW, we recently hosted one of Britain's great wrestlers, Jody Fleisch. And, well, in 1993, WCW went on a tour with the real event, and the Thrift Store Jobber has the shirt to prove it. It's a UK Tour shirt, 1993 size, extra large. Up front, we got the real event and a globe, and it's not a globe, it is the United Kingdom. And on the back, we have so many names. We have Sting, we have Vader, we have Cactus Jack, Belfast, Aberdeen, Manchester. They went everywhere, baby. It was 1993, and it was never going to end until it did. At Thrift Store Jobber, use promo code WORLDWIDE to get 10% off any order.
Next question, we get away from wrestling a bit.
Oh, okay.
You're an avid Comic-Con goer,
Yes.
as talked about on this podcast. Who's your favorite superhero and why? And in parentheses, and yes, worldwide is a valid answer.
My favorite superhero? Probably, it's kind of a lame answer because it's a lot of people's answer, but probably Batman.
Okay.
And not because necessarily of him,
Yeah.
of what he does or what he can do or whatever else, but because of the giant cast of characters that are around him. I like stuff with a lot of characters and a lot going on. I like a lot like the X-Men stuff and things like that. I like a lot of like a lot of busy, not just one person like Superman brooding about his blown up planet and then he goes and fights somebody, I like a lot going on, and Batman has the best rogues gallery of any comic book character.
It's interesting that you say Batman, as we talk about your midlife crisis, and you are a man of money, and you want all sorts of change in the world. Have you ever considered, because that's all Batman is just a guy with a lot of money who makes himself a costume.
Here's the problem. Here's the thing I don't have.
You've got skills in combat,
I don't have a butler.
so you need a butler. And then
I need somebody to take care of all, because who's going to pay my bills? Next thing I come home, the bat signal will be shut off because nobody paid the electric bill
So you need
or something like that.
somebody to keep on that.
I need somebody to handle my business while I'm out fighting crime.
Can I suggest somebody?
Are you gonna say Dave the Potato?
No.
Oh, okay.
Go ahead.
Kaplan. You and
Kaplan's not a
Kaplan.
butler.
You and Kaplan.
Kaplan's like the sidekick that runs into the fire when you get there, and then
You and Kaplan, man. I'd read that comic book.
How did Kaplan not fall under the scope of he could be your potential illegitimate son?
If he never would have made it to that age if he was my son.
You and Kaplan, man. Now that's
That's a comic book you'd read, huh?
That's a buddy cop movie waiting to be made.
Oh, absolutely.
Hey,
Yeah. Hey, Zach, if you're listening, Zach makes
contact
movies.
your power bomb guy or whatever. Yeah.
We got a buddy cop script for you. We'll work on it.
In development.
All right. Well, this one he wants to be named.
Well, and I could probably guess who it is, but go
Oh,
ahead.
you know what? Actually, he was just naming himself to me. Now that I read this,
Okay.
I won't say it. Why do you tweet snarky replies to liberal celebrities and left-leaning politicians, and how would you react if one actually responded and rightfully shut you down?
Well, first of all, I'm glad you made air quotes when you said rightfully, because clearly it would not be right, because whenever I say something, it's 100% right. The question was, how do I feel about it? Or why do I do it?
How would you react if they actually responded to you?
I
and
do it
shut you
because
down?
they're stupid. They say things without understanding what they're even talking about, and so the majority of them are. What's the chick from Deborah Messing, who's a complete moron?
Oh, from Will and Grace.
Yeah,
Okay.
Alyssa Milano. These are people who just tweet a lot.
She's a big baseball fan. Yeah.
They tweet a lot, so you see them more often than you don't. And George Takei, I've tweeted
he's
to
in some
him.
hot water right now.
Spock?
No,
Is that Spock?
No, that was Leonard Nimoy.
Oh.
He was
Who's George Takei?
Hulu or Sulu, not Hulu.
The Asian
That's
guy.
a Star Trek guy, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I thought that was Spock. I thought he was
Ron
Asian.
Perlman is a new one.
Yes, all that.
Hellboy.
Sons of Anarchy?
Yeah,
Making movies with Carly Perez.
yeah. And then the politicians. One of them is the dude that beat Linda McMahon, Chris Murphy, I think his name is, and then Ted Lieu from California, who apparently doesn't have a job because all he does is tweet. So they say half truths and they say things. I just fill in the gaps.
If they responded,
I would love if they responded.
you would react positively. You'd be like, yeah, let's talk about this.
Yeah, of course.
Okay.
Because that's what happened. See, Twitter is just here's my opinion.
Yeah.
Or here's my half truth of a situation.
Sure.
And then somebody will respond to it. If you have any guts, you'll say, now hold on a second, and you'll engage.
Now that there are twice as many characters, maybe you'll get that whole truth.
Maybe, but a lot of people, no, they don't. They just tell you what you want to hear, just like everybody else. So
What about, he says, shut you down? I imagine that you think they wouldn't shut you down.
of course they wouldn't,
Yeah. They wouldn't be able to top what you have to say.
because I'm not on there screaming about one thing. All I'm doing is
Well, not Twitter shutting you down, but that.
no.
that
All
person, yeah.
I'm doing is pointing out the rest of what they're leaving out.
Oh, okay.
So I'm not saying you're wrong because I'm smarter than you and blah, and I
like,
think
yeah,
the
hey,
opposite.
say more.
I just go, well, you're forgetting that you said the exact opposite last week or whatever else. I just call them on stuff.
Yeah, you
So-
feel like they are only saying what's convenient. Is that
Exactly.
That's what you're getting at? Okay.
Exactly.
All right, that's fair. Our next question, I'll read the email of the person. This one is submitted to us by Eric Ryan Bookings at yahoo.com. He asks, how big is Batista's dick?
I don't know. I'm not sure, but I'm sure Eric Ryan will try to gig himself with it at some point.
Oh, my. How about that? That's a hot take.
You
Hot
think
take right
you think
there.
he'd lift it?
He'd try. He'd probably tear something.
Oh, man. All right. Next one. Ooh, here they come. Are you a trash human because you're a Trump supporter, or are you a Trump supporter because you're a trash human?
See, neither of those things are true. I'm not a Trump supporter.
Oh, setting the record straight. Okay.
I'm not a Trump supporter. If people would actually take just because you disagree with the other side doesn't necessarily mean you support the person that's represents the side that you're on. I mean,
All right,
you can
that's
have
fair.
free thought and free will and think the opposite of people on certain things. You can agree with them on some things and disagree with them on other things. If people actually took the time to find out what I think about certain things, they would know that I'm not straight down the line of what's typical conservative or Republican thought processes. But they don't find out. I talk about something about the economy or healthcare, and so they just assume that I think the same way about everything.
They think that there are only two schools of thought.
Because I disagree
and there
with
are not.
I disagree with them on certain things, so they assume I disagree with them on everything. And that's not true. But they don't take the time. They just go. They treat it like you just read that I'm a trash human for some reason because I don't think like they do.
Okay. That's fair.
That's part of the problem with Twitter and society in general. Nobody takes the time to figure out what the other person actually thinks.
All right. This is a good question here. This one's going to be useful, I think, to a lot of people. Email reads, this year I am filing my taxes as an independent contractor, and I was wondering how much I should be saving from each check, and if there were any other tips you may have when it comes time for tax season.
It was difficult to say because I don't know what their job is. So I don't know what's available, like deduction-wise. It depends upon what they do.
Yeah.
But and I don't know how much they're getting, so it's hard to give them a bullseye answer. But a generic answer that I usually give for the first part of the question is 30%, because you're responsible for 15% self-employment tax. If they make about 40 grand or whatever, they'll be in the 15. They'll be in the 15% tax bracket. That's 30%. Hey man, I'm just answering the questions.
People want to know, Nick Sanko.
Yeah, that would 30% is a safe answer.
Let's say they're a professional wrestler. Let's give them a job title.
0 because they won't make any money, and they're getting paid in cash anyway, so nobody's giving them a 1099.
Well, if you get any PayPal, if you get paid by
That's
PayPal, you're
different.
getting
That's
one.
you're a company. You're that's
a lot
different.
of people get paid via PayPal.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Oh, do they really?
Yeah, I got paid on a couple consulting things and video editing things that I did this year through PayPal. Yeah.
Well, that's different. That's not professional wrestling. I mean, it's not.
Right.
Hey, here's an envelope.
right.
I mean,
And then PayPal keeps a certain if it's
Should
over,
I be 1099ing people?
If you never want to book anybody again, yeah.
What is the difference between a 1099 and a W9, or are they the same?
A W-9 is where you provide your information to prepare the 1099, your name, address, social security number. It's like a W-4 for a job.
Okay, so
for an
1099
employee.
comes later.
Yes.
There it is. How about that? Well, this is the final email question that I have.
Oh, okay.
Maybe this is a good one to end with as well, because we are coming to a close of 2017. The question is, who would you like to be booked against in 2018?
On like at Absolution or in general, or
Yeah, I mean that's all it is. So it's open to your interpretation.
who would I like to be booked against?
You could name multiple people, since there will be multiple shows throughout the year.
Wow, that's a good question. I guess
Maybe a storyline even.
I guess if I had to pick anybody to be booked against in AIW in 2018, it would be
Could be
John
a wish
Thorne.
list.
Me.
Be John
Yeah.
Thorne.
Me.
Yeah.
Would you like a storyline or
Oh my
just
God.
one match? I feel like there's already a storyline.
Oh my God, me.
No rope barbed wire?
No. Not no rope barbed wire. Pretty much anything else.
Why John Thorne? Would there be some?
Because he needs a good ass kicking.
I
There'd be
think you
some
need a
shoot
good ass
chops in
kicking.
there. Yeah.
He needs a good ass kicking. He's been riding my shit for the better part of a decade and a half. And I've just about had enough. I've just about hit my limit.
What do you think you're gonna like? You're gonna become the Stone Cold of AIW?
No, I just want to beat the crap out of you.
Stone Cold Pete. Here he comes.
A new gimmick. Would you? Is there someone? Okay, for 2018, would you rather have one-offs with people, or would you like to have a prolonged story?
Storylines are much better because, I mean, going back to the question of favorite matches with Jock and with Dominic,
Yeah.
both of those had storylines.
Right.
So the blow-off meant something. And for better or for worse, you know, there was something behind it. And whether people cared or not, I don't know, but I cared because there was a point to it. It's much easier to get yourself fired up to, put the work in and everything else when you know that there's something behind this rather than, oh, hey, you're going to wrestle, this guy tonight for no freaking reason.
So just to add on to that question, if you could wrestle any like name or legend,
Oh yeah.
who would that be? It could be multiple answers too. It doesn't have to just be one.
Before you guys booked him, I would have said Vader because I'm a huge Vader mark, but I probably wouldn't even want that now. Oh man, I'm trying to rack my brain as to who I used to watch when I was.
It could be anybody.
I know. I'm trying to think.
It doesn't have to be like for their work, but just to be in the ring with them.
Oh, who was the?
Would you want to have?
Well, he can't anymore because he's too old. But One Man Gang.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Wow.
I was a big gang mark.
Biggins was always trying to get me to get on board with booking one
I
man gang.
was a big gang mark back in the day. Any of the like Bundy, any of those, any of the big heels from the Hogan era.
You want a big nasty Hogan heel?
I like Bundy and I like Gang.
Would you?
What about Brutus Beefcake? They're feuding right now on Twitter.
I saw that. I don't follow I'm not a avid Twitter user like you guys are, but I did see that. Yeah, I'm not sure.
Would you defend Hulk's honor?
I would defend Hulk's honor to anybody. I love Hulk Hogan.
You could book him.
Yeah, you could book. Speaking of people that you would like to face in 2018, you could book Hulk Hogan.
I could, but I would never get the money back.
But wouldn't it be worth it for the memories?
Yeah.
Leave the memories alone.
Do you want to buy a Charger or do you want to buy a match with Hulk Hogan?
Exactly. Do I want to eat for the next 4 months or do I want to wrestle Hogan?
What if you fronted the cash and you got to keep all the gimmick monies?
First of all, that gimmick money would have to go through about 4 channels, and I have a feeling that it would get smaller and smaller and smaller as
this
it
guy
went
has
through
no
the channels.
trust.
What is
I
this about?
don't trust the AIW money laundering system at all.
I don't know what you're talking
Money launderers
Yeah.
now. We're money
Yeah.
launderers.
Making us out to
Exactly.
be here.
You're the tax guy.
I'm not your well, I'm personally, but not the company.
You're taking it over now.
I haven't touched it yet, so
Unbelievable. Well,
Yeah, I don't know about that.
You want rapid fire from everybody?
Oh, you got one?
Here we go. That was my question. Nick Sack is up now.
I just want to do like a quick rapid fire.
Okay, we could do that.
All right. So what?
association?
No. Like so. My first question, I guess, is when is it acceptable for somebody to go call the Duke Pete?
That's a very good question. I give up with some people because they just keep doing it. But it usually, a good rule of thumb is you have to be around me for a year or so. You know, like Thorne started doing it because he's a prick, and one of the other reasons why I want to fight him in 2018. And then Eric, because Eric's Eric, he started doing it. But then you got like Dr. Dan doing it and Derek Direction doing it, and I had to kibosh those, right away for a little while. I've loosened up a little bit, but loose Pete a little bit.
That Dr. Dan calls him Dad at this point. Sounds like
How many career men's softball home runs do you have?
it's a great question.
Over the fence?
Yes.
I'm not a home run hitter, so I have 5. That's it.
Have you ever won an MVP in your softball league?
Yes, I have.
Wow, didn't see that coming.
I was we were a team. We lost like 2 games. I was the pitcher. I think I was unconscious every game. I was amazing. So
How many dates do you have set up for the next month?
1.
Is it a Bob Evans lunch date?
It is not.
Can we know the details?
No.
Where are you gonna take this young lady? Or
We haven't ironed out
middle-aged
the
lady.
We haven't ironed out the details yet.
oh, okay.
How do you feel about elephants?
Yeah, apparently, what's the deal with the elephant? Like, I don't. Apparently, Trump.
They are lifting the ban.
But
on
how?
bringing-
But why?
Why?
But that's an Africa thing, isn't it? I mean, somebody in Africa had to do that, right? And then one of Trump's kids went over and shot one. Is that what
Yeah.
happened?
No, like you weren't allowed to bring the trophy back, and now you
Yes.
are.
Now you are.
Oh, okay. But you were allowed to kill him in Africa. Oh, okay.
Some places
So
you're not.
So it sounds to me like they should just be fucking blaming people in Africa. Let you kill elephants. I mean, I don't know. I've never fired a gun. I've never killed anything. I'll eat it. Somebody hands it to me. This is here's an elephant sandwich. I'll take a bite out of it, but
elephant.
I wouldn't kill it myself. So
It's always just be controversial. Elephant sandwich right there.
Ooh, that's a T-shirt.
Hey, I've had ostrich before. I've had other stuff.
How much money have you made in merchandise in your wrestling career?
0 because I've never sold any. I never tried. Those weren't mine. They made them, and I never got anything from them. And I told them I didn't want anything from them.
Aside from Eric Ryan,
Well, let me back up for a second. The reason why I don't
yeah,
is because, not to say that I would, but I don't have it because other people go and they sell their shit. I don't need the money, so I don't make stuff to try to take away from other. I let them sell their fucking shit. So
okay, it's
You
good.
know.
It's good.
not to say that if I had it, everybody would be running to my table buying my shit. I'm not trying to say that.
I feel like that's what you were trying to say.
That's why I'm clarifying. I let them buy their shit, sell their shit, so they can make money.
Aside from Eric Ryan and John Thorne, who do you feel is the biggest prick to you in the AIW locker room?
That's it. I mean, to my face. I mean, people might be a prick to me when I'm not around. I don't know, but I mean,
Is there
I'll gladly take that title.
is there anybody you actually like?
anybody I actually like?
Yeah.
I like everybody
Okay, good.
Even me?
in small doses.
Tom, got rapid fire? No.
No, nothing.
How many hours of cardio did you dedicate in the gym before a match at Absolution?
I went to the gym every day for 3 weeks straight. I did a half an hour, and then I worked out, and then I did 10 minutes on the Stairmaster. Drank a gallon of water every day. Changed some of my eating habits. I lost about 10 pounds in those 3 weeks. So
Are they back on?
Yeah, oh yeah. Well, as soon as Absolution was over, it was summer. So it was the summer of Duke. I was like, I'm just gonna go hang out, you know. and-
Summer of Duke.
yeah.
Have you heard from Mike Tolar? Is he doing well? Is he still alive?
I have not heard from Mike Tolar. I cannot answer your last 2 questions because I have not heard from Mike Tolar. But then again, I've never talked to Mike Tolar before that, except for the show. So I don't know. I mean, you have to ask the guy to my right.
I have not talked to Mike Tolar.
Get his picture on a milk carton for us real quick.
Who is your favorite Twitter follow that you follow?
That I follow? I only follow 100 people. I don't follow.
Do you only follow people?
I follow. Okay, let me
so
take.
that you
I'm
can
trying
say
to think.
things to them.
Celebrities. If I follow any celebrities or anybody, I don't really follow any workers.
Okay.
Like famous workers. The only one I can think of that I follow at all is I follow Weird Al Yankovic. Yeah.
Well, let's get into that. His rapid fire turned out great.
Yeah. Huge fan. Huge fan. Huge fan. I saw him in concert for the first time last year or 2 years ago.
What's your favorite Weird Al song?
Yeah.
Actually, it's an original from the movie Johnny Dangerously called "This Is the Life."
It's a good movie.
It's a
Michael
great
Keaton.
movie, and he does the theme song.
What's your favorite parody Weird Al song?
My favorite parody Weird Al song. I don't have time to think about that. That's oh man, I don't know.
What was the
I don't
first
know.
song that made you go, yeah, I really like Weird Al?
Oh, I'm dating myself, but probably the first time he was on Dr. Demento when he did Another One Rides the Bus with the guy beating the accordion case for the drum. I mean, it's
We're really humanizing Pete here today.
Yeah. People
why? I'm a human being, for Christ's sake. I'm not a
gonna
fucking robot.
going to have a turn here in the storyline.
Yeah, man. He might be the baby face, and I might be the heel going to that solution.
Does any new AIW student anger you as much as Trey Lamar?
Oh, I give Trey Lamar a hard time because he wears a giant button on his chest that's really easy to push. I mean, and he's just such a fucking head case, with flexing at me all the time. It's just he's asking for me to shit on him, so I shit on him. I mean, I don't mean anything by it, but it is what it is.
Last question. You ready for WrestleMania at Absolution?
Yeah,
Okay. No rope.
I'm
barbed
not
wire.
doing no rope barbed wire.
What if you had to have a gimmick match? What would it be?
Exploding boards.
I mean, it would be
Exposed board.
with falls count anywhere,
with John
something like
Thorne.
that or whatever, something like that. But I mean,
Piranha pits.
no, what? It's not fucking IWA Mid South.
Would you have a cage match if we figured out how to get it in Mount Carmel
We can't. It's impossible.
I would absolutely have one if
with John Thorne?
We'll have to find a different venue.
I would absolutely have one of those. Yeah, those. I'd
Would
love
you pay?
those.
Would you pay for the cage?
Would you pay? Would you pay for AIW to host Absolution on a barge in the middle of Lake Erie, so we can do explosions?
Absolutely not. I might be stupid with my money when it comes to gambling, but
you
I'm
would
not
get your-
that stupid.
Well, you heard it here first, folks. The Duke does not want to give the people what they want.
They absolutely
Fuck them.
You would have had a match with John Thorne. John Thorne would have come out of retirement for that match, right?
If we did it on a barge in the middle of Lake Erie,
Yeah.
like FMW in the middle of a barge.
What are we gonna get? Like little mini jet ski rings to take us out there, like WrestleMania 6?
Yeah, somebody's gonna.
No,
try
man,
to
it's gonna
body
be
slam a sumo wrestler.
it's gonna be the Absolution 13 fucking cruise, dude.
Oh, we're doing a cruise.
Yeah.
Well, you said wait, that's a barge. You can have a cruise on a barge. Where's
We're just gonna
Where's the bar? Where's Isaac making the margaritas?
We're
I
just gonna cruise out to international waters so the murder can't be tracked back to me.
There are no international waters in Lake Erie.
We're gonna go find them.
Yeah, there are.
It's Canada or
Well, that's international.
International. No, nobody owns it. You
Oh, that's-
dipshit.
We're gonna go find them.
Yes, by the proper terminology. Yes.
Yes.
We're going right on the border, so they don't know where to charge me.
It's Canadian waters. It's not international.
We're going
because it's
international.
Canadian.
Yes.
We're going international. Red Bull sponsor that. Yeah, Red Bull.
Oh yeah, they would.
Are we good? That's it. That's all. That's all the questions. Hopefully, you guys enjoyed hashtag Ask Dookie Anything. And
I hope so. I mean, hopefully I answered everybody's questions.
John Thorne's gonna have to rethink some storylines here. Now he's.
No way. He won't fucking pay for the booze cruise. Absolution 13.
Oh, there you
We
go.
could do it on the. We could hook a big fucking barge to the back of the Good Time 3.
Worked himself right back into being a heel.
I suppose we could, or we could just do it on the Good Time 3.
I don't know if it'll fit. Is
Nah,
it big
yeah,
enough?
it's not big enough because they have like low ceilings and there's not really.
Don't they have an outside? Don't they have a top deck?
Yeah, but it's not very large.
We gotta get a
smaller.
We gotta
as you
get a.
higher.
We gotta get like a. What's that fucking?
the William G. Mather.
Yeah, the William G. Mather, dude. You think you can rent that?
Why don't we
out?
do it like what'd they call that? The King of the Road match, but we'll do it on a boat.
Let's do it. Let's do it.
Just fight on a boat.
Let's do it on the fucking Jet Express, and we'll
Express.
we'll do Absolution 13 and Put in Bay.
Now that might be
There you
big
go.
enough.
That would actually probably draw like crazy.
Express might be
That's
big
not a
enough.
terrible idea.
Well, let's get on it.
All right. Well,
That is not a terrible idea.
hopefully you guys learned a lot of things about the Duke here. Follow
Like
my-
I said, hopefully everybody's satisfied with their answers. And
And you can't call him Pete for 1 year.
Yes.
Yeah.
He's on Twitter at the Duke1279. And I think that's going to do it here for us. Follow us on Twitter at AI Wrestling. And thanks for listening. For John Thorne, the Duke, Nick Senka, and Dom Greeny, my name's Steve Guy. Have a great week, everybody. We'll talk to you next week.